Welcome, I'm the Intuitive Lover Girl, and today we're going to be discussing divine feminine energy. Before I get started, I just wanted to introduce myself and thank you for stopping by today. My name is Jada, I'm 22 years old, and spirituality, women's empowerment, and tarot are all passions of mine. I'm currently in a place in my life where I'm more connected to myself, my spirituality, and my femininity more than I have ever been in my life. And I want to share that with you. My goal with this is to continue down a path of self-discovery and self-improvement and share what I learned along the way with you all. So as a disclaimer, everything that I will be sharing with you in this video and on this channel is based solely on my opinions, my personal experiences, and the things that I have learned from doing research on my own. So just take whatever resonates with you and leave whatever doesn't. Know that I don't consider myself to be an expert in no shape or form. I'm just here to share my opinions, voice my thoughts, and create conversations for my friends that I make in my community. If you have any video recommendations or if there are any topics you would like to hear from me, don't shy away from leaving a comment down below. So again, I will be elaborating on what I believe to be the divine feminine woman. So without much further conversation, let's go ahead and get into the video. I'm also going to be looking at some notes that I made in preparation for this video. So if I'm looking down, that's why. So you may be asking yourself, what is divine feminine energy? So according to Wikipedia, femininity is a set of attributes, behaviors, and roles generally associated with girls or women. Femininity can be understood as socially constructed, but there is evidence that some behaviors that are considered to be feminine are based not only on cultural but biological factors. Wikipedia goes on to say all humans can exhibit both masculine and feminine traits regardless of sex and gender. So you're probably like, what does that even mean? Basically, it's saying that although both men and women possess feminine and masculine traits, there is evidence that shows these traits can be considered biological, but also it's saying that femininity is the role that women take in society. However, I personally believe that it goes deeper than just the roles that women take on in society. I believe that both masculinity and femininity have a great spiritual importance as well. As you listen to this video and continue to watch my journey, you'll begin to realize the interconnection that you have between your spirituality and your masculine and feminine energies. You'll also begin to understand how the duality of those two greatly impacts your success and your personal development. So I wanted to give you 5 characteristics that I consider to be of a divine feminine woman. The first trait that I consider to be a divine feminine woman would be having a connection with a higher power. So there's just literally no way that you can be a divine feminine woman if you don't believe in God or the universe or your higher self or spirit or source or whatever it is that you believe in, because that's literally the definition of divinity. Furthermore, as a woman, you are the closest thing to God, because out of the 2 human species, you're the only one that can create and sustain life. Your yoni and womb literally serves as a vessel from the spiritual realm into this physical world that we live in. Therefore, it's important to have a relationship with a higher power, whether it's religious or spiritual. This will allow you to lean into that for guidance, not only to discover and embody the power you have within yourself, but to also be able to nurture guide and empower the life you bring into this world as well. The second divine feminine woman attribute would be having a connection to your intuition. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with the first characteristic that I mentioned, which was having a relationship to your higher power. Your intuition is being able to understand or realize things without having any logical reason to be able to understand. This is a feminine attribute because unlike men who are born with these really big, strong muscles and all of this energy that could allow them to hunt and gather and protect themselves, we weren't born with those same instincts. But what we were born with was intuition. And back in the early years of life, those women had to rely on their intuition rather than logic or physical strength to avoid getting into dangerous situations and to also meet their survival needs. Not listening to your intuition is not only detrimental to you, but can also be detrimental to the men in our lives as well. Us as women can perceive things that even the most logical man cannot understand. Men often lean on our intuition to gain clarity and understanding to guide us. The third divine feminine woman characteristic is knowing how to accept and receive. I think that these two words definitions might be perceived as the same. So I would like to define receive and accept. Acceptance is the willingness to tolerate a situation or a person. An example of acceptance would be having the ability and the eagerness to love, nurture, and support your man, child, or anyone in your life for exactly who they are without having any intention on changing them. That's acceptance. On the other hand, reception is the welcoming of something being given to you. This looks something like being able to accept a compliment without feeling the need to reject or compensate for it. These two attributes are important because as a woman, one of our roles is to support and receive. The greatest piece of evidence that I have to support that women are receivers is the fact that men have to implant their seed into us in order for us to be able to create new life. It's also why men were born with instincts to chase, protect, and provide, and why they will feel inadequate if they are unable to do that for the women in their life. In return, our job as divine feminine women is to support our men in taking care of us by accepting him for who he is and helping him realize the strengths and abilities that he has within himself that he might not even be aware of. If you are unable to accept people and situations for who they are, and you are unable to receive, whether that be love, affection, help, protection, or gifts, you'll never feel secure in your womanhood. The fourth characteristic of the divine feminine woman is having emotional intelligence. Having emotional intelligence is the ability to not only understand your own emotions, but to be able to understand the emotions of others around you. Emotional intelligence requires you to be self-aware, empathetic, and to master your communication. As a divine feminine woman, it's important to have emotional intelligence, not only because it will allow you to have a deeper connection and relationship and understanding of yourself and the people around you, but it also will help you in your decision making, choosing the right partner or the new career, or just avoiding getting into bad situations or removing yourself from bad situations. As women, we are highly emotional, and it's easy for us to sometimes get lost in the sauce and allow our emotions to rule over us and cloud our judgment, which can hinder our growth in several ways. But it can also get in front of our happiness as well if we're constantly letting our emotions get the best of us. It's also important to have emotional intelligence as a divine feminine woman so we can help the divine masculine tap into his emotions as well and help him heal some of his emotional wounds. However, we can't do any of this work until we first do the work within ourselves to heal our emotions. And a great way to tap into your emotions and become more emotionally intelligent is to practice shadow work. So journaling, whenever you get triggered, thinking about why am I feeling this way, or when did I first ever feel this way, and then really just continuing to ask yourself why, and digging deeper. And that will help you connect to your emotions and help you take back control over them. And the fifth and final trait that I have for you is having a deep sense of purpose. Now, I believe that both men and women should have a sense of purpose, but I'm going to elaborate on why I think it's especially important for us as divine feminine women to have a sense of purpose. I believe that as a woman, you become stronger and more powerful when you feel like there is a very specific reason why you're put on this earth. I also think that this is super important because having a sense of purpose will display all of the other attributes that I previously mentioned, which is having a connection to a higher power, having a connection to your intuition, having emotional intelligence. But it also shows that you just have a very strong connection within yourself, because when you have that sense of purpose, you're going to be emulating all of those things. And that just shows that you have a strong connection to yourself. And as a woman, that is extremely important. Having a sense of purpose is the ultimate guide for you in your life whenever you're going through hard times. Having that sense of purpose will help guide you through life to your ultimate self and will give you strength to elevate through all of your trials and tribulations. Although I believe that having a sense of purpose is both a masculine and feminine trait, it relates to the feminine in regards to our roles as nurturers, as healers, as people who bring people together and uplift people. We are unable to do any of that amazing healing and progressive work for our communities if we don't even have a purpose within ourselves. Having a sense of purpose will not only allow you to fill those roles in society, but it'll also help you attract your divine masculine man so that the both of you can be trailblazers for your community and children. So those are the 5 things that make up the divine feminine woman, in my opinion. Of course, there are many more characteristics that make up a divine feminine woman. I could only list 5 today, but if you would like to hear some more characteristics, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And if there are any things that maybe you want to elaborate on, I would love to have a conversation with you below in the comment section. However, I am only going to tolerate respectful and open communication, so let's be mindful of how we talk to each other here on this channel. I really enjoyed making this video for you, and I hope that you enjoyed watching it and got some value from it. I would like to thank you for stopping by again. I look forward to chatting with you soon. This is the Intuitive Lover Girl, and I hope you lovers enjoyed the rest of your day.